was our Kickstarter backer, and we're just very, very grateful. I mean, if I start going on too much about it, I'm just going to break down and cry, but it's been an amazing experience. I never thought that I don't think that we really thought too much of what was going to happen. We both, as I was telling somebody else this evening, both of us have always been interested in all things that have to do with the spiritual in indigenous societies, and the Mapuche culture is an oral culture, so you can find things written about them and their mythology, their spiritual beliefs, etc., but they will vary from one person to the next. And we felt it wasn't enough to just be reading it online or in textbooks. And the thing is that both of us, but especially Sergio, has always used indigenous iconography. And so we were thinking, how can we keep using something that we don't know that much about? And so that's where we started. And thanks to you all and to the people that will see this on the video also, because we have support from as far away as Australia, people in Alaska, people in Europe, and some people that didn't even want anything in return. So that was like, it was really overwhelming, and wow, just no words to really express how wonderful it feels to be so supported. And I think because of that, for me at least, I felt a lot of pressure, and I felt very tight, like I've always painted a lot of women, and so I thought, okay, in Chilean culture, the shaman is a female, so that will be what I will do. But I also felt like that was kind of not enough, and so all the pieces that you see right there are the ones that those are watercolors and paintings on paper, and these I did while in Chile, and you can see like with the one over there on the far left with a purple background that I was trying to go somewhere. I really felt like I needed to go somewhere different. But at the very beginning, I think the first thing that really attracted me was their what they call their cosmovision, or their cosmovision, or how they see the cosmos, and how the world was created. And so here, I'll come over here. Oh, sorry, I'll come over here and put it up. So this one speaks to their creation myth. And for a long time, I've always been interested in that. I have an undergrad in psychology, and just because I've always been interested in people and how people think, and just humanity in general. And their creation story is so similar to other creation stories from other cultures and religions and everything. So that really, I was like, oh, okay, I'll go with that. And I always thought, Sergio has it easy, because all he's got to do is keep going with his encaustics and his, using his iconography on there. But I just was really stuck. And so then, when we got back, I did the pieces back there, which were, again, more of the machi, no big surprise there. And so I was kind of really disappointed, I think, in that I wasn't creating something, new. Although, I mean, I like these pieces a lot, but I really had wanted to go somewhere else with my work. And so finally it happens with this piece right here, those three heads, I guess, Villanes. Started working with the spiritual beliefs that really these are sort of like angels for the Mapuche. And, well, actually, this was my first piece. It was a collage. And so from there, I went to this one. But when I did this one, I really felt like that there was like a breakthrough that was way beyond even myself. And at the same time, Sergio started working on these, and he started doing something different, which is, I feel that he started working with a narrative. And so Whereas before he would do a painting where he would do encaustics. You know, this encaustic is a lot richer than what he was doing before, but still he would do the encaustic and then he would take an object and stick it on here. And now I think that he also has gone in a different direction. All these carvings that you see here take hours and hours. So he does the encaustic, and then all this he carves with tiny tools, and then he fills this in with wax again, and then scrapes it off. Where are they? These little guys. He has also tooled from a copper sheet that we have. And Chile is a huge, huge producer of copper, so it was pretty interesting to have that. But then also the indigenous people in Chile wear a lot of silver. And so this is a typical necklace that a machi would wear. And then they wear a headband, also made of silver, with coins hanging. So they took that from the Spaniards. This is my friend Pilar, who was a missionary with the Mapuche. And so she knows a lot about them, and she was explaining that. So then these that are silver, too, are interesting. And I love the fact that he has started doing more than just attaching a found object. He's actually creating his own objects. And like I said, the narrative. So here, from the creation story, this is a snake. And the story is that there were two snakes. I forgot now. Do you remember Trentren and Kulibu?
Well, the story is the two snakes. One is the snake from the water. The other is the snakes from the air. And supposedly earthquakes and tsunamis are created when they fight. And the fight that they had, it was because the snake of the water wanted to flood the whole area, so everything is water, and the snake from the air saved the Mapuche people. And that's the idea of that thing, is the snake from the air saving the people, but the people that were not faithful, they fell from the snake. So
the people that were afraid.
That were afraid.
Everybody who was, everybody, and this is interesting again, as I was saying, like there's a story of, a genesis for every culture and spirituality. This is their genesis, this is their flood. And you look at cultures and spiritual beliefs, even in Africa, even in many, many native religions, they have stories of a flood, just like the Christian religion. And this precedes Christianity. And I just find it so interesting. So many different cultures and religions have these similar stories. And their story is that, what I couldn't remember is the name of the snakes. This piece over here, I created that after the earthquake in Chile. And that has the two snakes as well. One is called Tren Tren and the other one is called
Kai Kai.
Kai Kai? Kai Kai Bilu.
Tren Tren Bilu and Kai Kai Bilu.
Okay. Okay, that's their name. And so this one was the earth snake, which I don't remember which one of that it is.
Me neither.
But the story is that everybody was afraid and they didn't trust. And because they were afraid, they started falling off. And I think that's so valuable for us in our lives, that fear is not helpful to our lives, right? And I've heard it say that love is the opposite of fear, rather than love and hate. It's really love and fear. And it's fear really what makes us hate in many, many times, right? Mm-hmm. And so everybody fell. So here you see a little guy falling head first. And then the people that were left, you see there's 4 people here. The people that were left behind were a young couple and 2 elders, a couple of older people that would go on and teach them the ways of the Mapuche. And Mapuche means people of the earth. So for them, the earth is extremely important. So there's this whole, again, like a Mother Earth thing, that you see, again, through many, many cultures and traditions. And so that's that. And so anyway, I think that narrative. Oh, and this is a pine nut from Chile. So that one snuck into the country. So I don't think that you're really supposed to be able to bring those things that, you know.
This is recorded, you know. We'll have to edit this out.
People feel-
Okay.
But their pine nuts are huge, right? Because in New Mexico and Arizona, you see that those Native Americans too, pine nuts are extremely important. So that when it's time to gather them, I know here in New Mexico, because they're so small, they go out with big blankets and they shake the trees so they all fall on the blankets that they've been prayed over. And here the pine nuts are used on many for many meals and etc. And then these two represent the two snakes also, the water and earth. So all Serka's paintings have meaning that I think it's easier to talk about. Mine, I think the meaning is yet to come. I really feel that this brought me to do work that is way, like I said, way beyond me. The, you know, the meaning and I can't even begin to title them. And you know, as I was doing these, I read in the news that they had found that the Moais in Easter Island, which some people don't know that Easter Island is part of Chile, but they said, oh, the Moais has been discovered that they have bodies under the heads. And I thought, well, yeah, that's obvious. I always knew they had